and you have to hit something, right?
Yep.
Okay. Welcome. This is one of those circles beset with technical difficulties, but you three are here. Thank you. I should be talking into the camera when I'm speaking to you three so that you'll sense the connection. So let's breathe a little. Let's breathe down into the stillness in our belly, the stillness at the bottom of a breath. My voice goes down an octave when I allow my stillness to be my beacon. So just a few more breaths. We'll take some more breaths and hope some people will join us. Sense into the luxury of just breathing and being and connecting in the stillness, the shared stillness. And coming gently back up, looking, opening your eyes and looking into the screen and seeing us in the room. We're in shared stillness. We see each other, we are with each other, but we're still operating from our own personal depth as we listen and as we speak. So 1 minute turns to check in through my eyes. Gloria, would you be willing to go first?
Okay.
Gloria, checking in through.
Okay.
Pardon? Okay, checking in through, starting with a breath, starting now.
I'm just trying to arrive more. I've felt kind of nervous all day. And so I still feel a little bit that way. And usually that wears off after a while when I join a circle, but I'm still feeling that right now. And, but I'm glad to be here anyway with everybody. Mm-hmm.
Are you done, Gloria?
Yes.
Yeah. Since I'm looking into the camera, I can't see any non-verbal clues that you're done. So thank you. I need to hear. Thank you. Thank you, Gloria. Everybody gets to say thank you, Gloria.
Thank you, Gloria.
Tony, I'm going to ask you to go next. Checking in through my eyes, starting with a breath, starting now.
The circle that I attended, gosh, it doesn't feel like very long ago. What a big thing that it can be. And I was very excited about it. And I've wondered, oh, have I bitten off more than I can chew coming to 2, but I haven't. I'm really glad to be here again. And I'm not as nervous as I was. I feel like I've just got back onto a bicycle again, in a way, and that it works, that you can do it with Zoom and still really be with people, even though we're in separate parts of the world.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Oh, once again, didn't hear you, Michelle. Can you say something else?
Hi, Lee.
Okay. Michelle, checking in through my eyes, starting with a breath, starting now.
So I look at your eyes.
Yes, on
Yes.
the screen.
Oh, they just froze on me. Did he freeze on you guys? Oh, everybody's
You're
frozen.
frozen to us. Let's wait and come out of this. It'll take a few seconds, but you'll be back. You don't hear me, do you, Michelle?
Mhm.
She refuses to answer. Hmm.
The computer needs to breathe.
Yeah. You know, it amazes me in all the circles, hundreds of circles I've done on Zoom. Hardly ever are there enough problems to create, to have to not do a session.
Uh-huh.
It always seems to come around.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
Well, I'm sure that Michelle will be back stronger than ever. And because if there's going to only be 3 of us, I'm going to participate. So I'm going to take the opportunity to do a 1-minute check-in.
lovely.
Tony, would you give me your eyes in the camera? You look into the camera, and I will, Lee, starting with a breath, checking in, starting now. Ah. I get so relaxed when I do this exercise. I forget how relaxing it is just to have someone's eyes for an extended period of time. And a minute to me is a very long time when I'm not trying to get something done. It's a universe of time. That's why I'm creating this 1-minute masters website of people who use the minute perfectly. And through the corner of my eye, I'll see when my timer goes off. It just went off. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee.
thank you, Lee.
I just got a text. Still working on it.
Mm.
Okay. If it turns out it's just 3 of us, we'll have a really good time. So, Gloria, I'm going to introduce you for your 6-minute turn.
Okay,
If there's any, hopefully, if there's any interference or somebody shows up, we'll just smoothly get through it.
Mhm.
So, now because there's only 3 of on the screen, I suggest that sometimes you call your own name.
really?
When you call your own name to speak to yourself on screen, even though you're not looking into your eyes, you will have the sense of speaking to yourself.
Oh, okay. I look in the camera when I
No,
call.
no. If you call your name, look on the screen, see yourself on the screen.
Okay, all right.
And I'd like you to try that so that you can see that that does work. So 6 minutes, starting with breaths, calling a name to the camera, starting now.
Tony. Um, I don't know why. I'm just in kind of an uneasy. It's
Did you call my name?
it's called Tony.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear it.
Okay. I'm in kind of an uneasy place. And I somewhat know what that's about, but there's some unknown quality to it too. Lee. And it's just showing up here now as uneasiness. I just feel kind of self-conscious. I think part of it is I just started my final term in this postgraduate program that I'm in, and I'm facing the end of that, and Tony, and possibly the end of my sojourn here in Iowa, but I'm not sure. There's just a really lot of unknowns. So I know I'm, and there's part of me that just wants to go into denial about it, you know, like Lee. So when I go into denial, I do a number of things. One of which is to turn on Grey's Anatomy and watch it for hours. And now I'm even watching the reruns. I've never done that before, but it seems to be a good coping mechanism, Tony. And yeah, this facing the end thing is, I don't know. It is very difficult in a way. I just have a lot of mixed feelings, you know. Usually when you finish it seems like when you finish a program like this, you'd be feeling happy about it and looking forward to what you were going to do next, Lee. But I'm finding that instead of, I feel like I'm being forced into looking at what I'm going to do next. And it may include another move. I still have to work, and probably I will be for the next 5 or 6 years. So my program has been in, I'll be a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, Tony. And I think there's a lot of opportunities out there, but it's kind of like I have worked so long and so hard for so many years, and everybody else around my age is retiring. And it's not like I want to retire, but it just sort of feels odd, you know, like I kind of feel like I'm a duck out of water, or having to kind of blaze a trail that a lot of people aren't. And Lee. So it just feels kind of weird. And today I talked to a recruiter who I saw, I'm just now starting to just put myself out there a little bit and see what the possibilities are as far as work. And I have particular considerations, like I don't want to work full time. I don't want to see 20 people a day. And some of these positions are like that. Tony. Anyway, I had a really nice conversation with this guy, and it turned out that he's a recruiter for not just this state of Iowa, but really all over the country. So I thought it was kind of interesting that where I was before, which was in San Rafael, California, there's actually, there's a job there that sort of fits my criteria. And I wasn't planning on going back. Lee. Anyway, I decided to just deal with all this uncertainty by, it feels worse to just sit on it, you know, to just sit on the energy and not do anything, which is the anxiety sort of, I can get like that, just sort of paralyzed with it. But in the end, I feel like it's better just to start exploring and talking to people, and even if it doesn't go anywhere or it goes in the wrong direction, it still feels better. Tony. So my story. And where's Michelle? Okay,
Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you, Gloria.
thanks.
Hi, Michelle. So Gloria, I'll start the appreciations.
Okay.
Easygoing in the not knowing.
Mm.
Okay, that's good. Easygoing and the not knowing. Thank you.
Um, comfortable uncertainty.
Comfortable and certain. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria. So Michelle, you say something so we hear you. Oh no. Oh yeah, Michelle. Oh,
Frozen again.
oh.
Oh, my.
She moved a little. She moved a little.
Yeah, we got a.
Let me see. Let's all breathe.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm going to see if there's any important messages. Sorry, my Wi-Fi dropped. My husband rebooted, but is still working on it. Okay, they're all working on it. Oh, there you go, Michelle. Do you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, while you
My
still
Wi-Fi, I think, is going in and out, so I don't know what to
Michelle,
do.
while you're still here, take a minute,
Okay,
checking in through my eyes on the screen,
okay.
starting with the breath, starting now.
Hi, Lee. Hi, everybody. I was imagining if we were in a room together and all of a sudden one of us disappeared. It would be interesting. So, the adventure of Zoom. Yeah. So it's hard to feel like I'm here because I'm not sure how stable this here is going to be. So, yeah. The adventure begins.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Maybe it'll work all the way through now. Okay. Tony, 6 minutes. And if it feels right to sometimes call your own name and look at yourself on the screen, 6 minutes, starting with breaths and then calling your first listener to the camera, starting now.
Michelle, I had dinner with a friend last night, and I was a bit nervous about it because I'd had some mixed feelings about him. He asked me and my wife a while ago to write him a reference to become a marriage celebrant. And we put quite a bit of work into doing this. And while I was away last week, I saw on Facebook.
Are you being with Michelle? Stay with her on the screen and call another name soon.
Michelle, yeah, yes, sorry. Gloria. I saw him announce on Facebook that he had qualified as a celebrant. And he hadn't got back to us and said thank you for the work that we'd put in, or told us specifically that he'd achieved it. And Lee, I felt quite hurt by that. And then having processed it for a few days, I realized I wanted to, connect with him as soon as possible, so that there wasn't something sitting there. And Michelle, that's what happened last night. And during the course of the dinner, he explained, well, he didn't explain anything about what I've just talked about. He talked about his work, how tough it had been recently, and several people in the last 6 months at his work have died. 4 people at his work have died in the last 6 months. And Gloria, my concerns about how he responded to my hurt kind of just flew away like wings. It was like there were wings on them. It's like he had been going through so much, and the thing that I had kind of a racket going on about just vanished. And Lee, I'd been wondering about whether I was going to say anything about it, and I had no need. And so then, as a result, we talked about all sorts of other things to do with his work and things that I'd been doing, and it's an interesting balance that we have in terms of enjoying each other's company and having a little bit of fun, but actually it's quite a deep male friendship that I have with him. Michelle, that's quite special that we can talk about things. I think that we're very fortunate to share with each other. And after we finished the meal there, we wanted a coffee, but it was a place that didn't really serve coffees and things like that. So we went off to another place, Gloria, where I'd been the night before with another friend actually, and they remembered me. They said, "Oh, you're back." I realized I've been having quite a social time recently. I've been seeing lots of different people, and they all have, I don't know, something different about them, and they all bring something different to the relationships that I have with them. And they're all special in their own way. Lee, I really feel blessed that there are these people that that I can share with and who can share with me, and we're important for each other, and I guess also just blessed here in New Zealand. We're so lucky with the way that the pandemic is being managed, that we can do things that so many people I know around the world cannot do at the moment. We have that. We were able to make those connections. Michelle, sometimes I feel not quite sure what the word is. I feel wrong to share the things that we can do here in New Zealand with people overseas who I've known have suffered and really some still are really suffering with this thing. And it's I guess I can relate it to what happened last night with my friend. At one level, I wanted to be there for him, and initially he said, "I'm not sure if I want to come out," and I said, "Yes, you must, because I'll cheer you up." But Gloria, I wasn't sure if really he would. I assume he wouldn't have come out if he didn't want to be cheered up. But there was just this this balance of being present, but also being real, and not trying to make everything okay. That's what happened last night.
Thank you, Tony. Tony, just beautiful humanity,
Beautifully manly.
beautiful humanity.
Oh, thank you. Beautiful humanity.
We don't make gender comments here.
It did slightly surprise me. Thank you, Glenn. Gloria.
Gentle sincerity.
Gentle sincerity. Thank you.
Tony, heartful sharing.
Heartful sharing. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Tony. Well, Michelle, you've been stable the whole time, so we've got you for 6 minutes. Starting. Yeah. By the way, yeah, if the dog barks, you don't have to shush the dog because I doubt that helps. And we can handle the dog. Okay. He's part of your family.
Part of my show.
So 6 minutes with Michelle, starting with breaths and then calling your first name to the camera, starting now.
Hi, Lee. Still back in my 1 minute. Being present. Hi, Tony. And Gloria. So my 21-year-old daughter, Grace, lives on the property here with me. And she came to rescue my not working computer situation with hers. So I guess the speaker is better and you guys sound loud and clear, so that's great. And thank goodness for a daughter with working technology. Yeah. So. And Tony, I still don't know what to do about the Wi-Fi, so I have some homework to do to have an uninterrupted speaking circle experience. And Lee, so I was pondering a few thoughts today. What do I enjoy speaking about? So I have my horse stories, but something I've enjoyed sharing about is I have a new puppy. And he is not the one barking. That was one of my old dogs. But the new puppy is a rat terrier. And Gloria. So I have a client and they had a litter of these puppies. And the mom would come and talk about these puppies with so much joy. And just, I could just tell she was totally loving having these puppies. And it was, I'm going to say enrolling. It was like, well, I want to go check out some puppies. So Tony, I went to look at the puppies And the rational part of me was saying, I hope I don't like any of them. I don't need a puppy like a baby in my life. But I went to visit the puppies. And so Lee, I had the idea that I was going to get a female, but there were only 2 females. There was a little runty female, and I know I didn't want the runt. And then there was a bigger female, but she wasn't the one. So I visited, enjoyed the puppies, and then there was the one. And actually, funny, I didn't think of this before, but he just sat and stared into my eyes, just like we do when we connect in a speaking circle. And so Gloria, as I sat there with this little cute puppy staring into my eyes, it really was like, you are the one. And so I had to wait a few weeks before he was old enough to bring home, and I brought him home. And the family had already named all the puppies, which is kind of a funny thing. But they called him Rancho because he was going to come out to my ranch. And they were just so delighted in everything, in the puppies and in the name, that Tony, I decided to keep the name Rancho, just like it was their happiness. And just like this puppy was this happiness from them. And now he's happiness in my life. And so I like to tease, I have puppy love in my life. And he really is that. He's just a joy. And yeah, I was sharing with one of my older daughters that, Lee, I'm going to become one of those old ladies who sits there with their little dog and talks about their little dog, right? Only I'm not that close to that yet, but I really got the experience of doting on this little critter that I'm enjoying. And so he's a big part of my life. And yeah, I find I share about the experience of getting this puppy in my life quite a bit. And he's joy for everybody who comes to visit. Yeah, it's been really fun watching him, like just like a toddler, watching them grow and learn that they can do new things. And so one of his new masteries is like, well, at first his attempts were fun to watch. About, I think I can jump. Oh, I didn't make it. I couldn't quite jump. I know I should be able to jump someday, right? And he would try and then he'd fall. But now he can jump. He can actually jump and make it to my lap, or jump to make it to places. Gloria. Anyway, he is a new delight in my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Michelle, profoundly joyful.
Profoundly joyful. Thank you, Lee. Tony.
Infectious enthusiasm.
Infectious enthusiasm. Thank you, Tony. Hi, Gloria.
Joyful sweetness.
Joyful sweetness. Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm so glad we got an absolute full, wonderful turn from you. Meanwhile, Suzanne gave up. So I'm going to take a 6-minute turn. I'm going to time it. And starting 6 minutes with Lee, starting with breaths, calling a name to the camera, starting now. Wow. Michelle, what luxury to have a full 6 minutes. Of course, I'd rather everybody showed up, but to have a turn, Tony, and to see how people respond to their name being called, they're right there. Gloria. And I noticed that in this, as we get better and better at being present, our faces register some of the emotion, not like of the speaker, Michelle, not profound, not like obvious, but just little joy and or sadness. If there's sadness coming through, you just reflecting it to just like you would if you were across the table having coffee. And I'm going to look into the camera for a minute. We do it into the void of the camera, knowing we're connecting. I'll call my own name. Lee, I want to talk a little to you. You look happy. It's interesting talking to oneself on the screen. So, Tony, what I'm excited about these days is I'm creating a website called 1 Minute Masters. And I realized I decided that 1 minute, the 1 minute frame, Gloria, the 1 minute playground is where I want to live the rest of my work life. Because a minute is a beautiful amount of time. In fact, Michelle, I want to show you how long a minute is. I have a newsletter coming out tomorrow with an article about the 1 minute mastery and the idea of what it means to have a minute to make a difference without rushing. And I wanted to show people how long a minute is when there's no content, when there's nothing to do. And I have in my newsletter, Tony, and I hope you all get it. I know it goes direct to spam often, these newsletters, but I just take a full minute. Actually, it's a nature scene. And you click on it, and it's a full minute of silence. And I ask people, just be with the scene. Breathe. Michelle, and see how long a minute really is, how luxurious and deep, and how much universe, what a universe is in a minute. A minute's only a short time when you're rushing to get something into it. But Gloria, and it works for me to be the minute master, the 1 minute master, because of my short attention span. I love working in the one, and I've been working with people on scripts. You know, we work a little on Zoom. Tony, we help, we figure out what story to tell, and then something about the story swiveling to a point, a kernel of usefulness the person's making, and then an invitation, Michelle, to subscribe to the channel, because each master up there has an invitational minute that's irresistible. And sometimes it takes 100 takes. And I have one up there that's an irresistible minute, and we're still going to do more takes with a guy who's brilliant at it. And that's on that video. That's in the article too. So Gloria, if you don't get it, please let me know. I want you to see these things. But what was the point? Oh, so there's an invitational minute that wants to be, it's a little bit of acting. I don't mean like presenting, performing acting, but when you have something, you have to memorize this script once it's revised and down to everything, all the fat is removed. I've noticed, Tony, that when I have to cut because time is too long, I can't cut anything more. Find something to cut, just a little thing to cut, and it gets better because it cut. In fact, this editing, you see how much doesn't need to be said, Michelle. We could get a story and a point of view and an invitation just by getting to the point and not having to say so much that we think has to be said. So I'm enjoying what it takes to create a magical minute. And I could do it with anybody who has a vision, has something they want to share. Tony, something they want to share. and some new thinking. That's kind of fascinating. So Gloria, I'm loving this work, and a minute I'm seeing is an atom of time. And the atomic nature of a minute is explosive, to complete the metaphor of atomic. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee.
I'll take my appreciations. Gloria,
Contagious enthusiasm.
contagious enthusiasm. Thank you. Tony,
Explosive energy.
explosive energy. Thank you, Tony. Michelle,
Joyful and bubbling, or bubbling with joy. Yes.
bubbling with joy.
Bubbling with joy.
Thank you, Michelle. Wonderful. Oh, thanks for letting me participate.
Thank you, Lee.
We have one more turn. It's the completion turn. 2 minutes. Looking anywhere you want. Anywhere you want, calling names if you'd like. Looking at yourself on screen. Speaking into the camera, speaking into the microphone. Anything that pleases you. Completion. Completing this experience. Gloria, 2 minutes, starting with a breath, starting now.
I always enjoy listening to everybody else's stories and where they're coming from. And I did enjoy that tonight. I was thinking, one of the new little devices in my life that is really makes me laugh, but it's also, you know, it's just sort of a what the word portent of the future, which is like I got one of those Alexa little, what do you call it, pods that kind of talk to you or play any kind of music that you could ever think of. It's really amazing how that talks to you. And sort of reminds me of that movie 2001, Space Odyssey with Hal. So I'm hoping Alexa doesn't decide to take over sometime. But it's really kind of fun. Anyway, and oh, I'm just feeling pretty good right now, better than I did when I first came in to this circle. So, yeah. Yeah, it's finally warm here in Iowa. It took like a long time. It's June now, and I just turned the heat off. So it's been a long spring, cold. Anyway, it's good now.
Thank you, Gloria.
Thanks.
Gloria.
Completing with Tony, starting with a breath, starting now.
I realized how excited I was to do my second circle today. And the feeling of connecting with people that I haven't met before, that excites me, I realize. I'm not quite sure why. But yeah, we share something special in our lives. And Michelle, with your dog, you know, I've had dogs, and that.
We don't get personal, remember?
Okay. The resonance that I feel from people's stories, and the human connection that this can create. And how although we can be strangers, the universality of our humanity can be connected with really quite quickly if we allow it to occur, if we don't put up those barriers and walls and armor up ourselves. So that's been a fantastic reminder to me. So I say thank you to you all.
Thank you, Tony.
Tony.
Michelle, completing, starting with a breath, starting now.
I've been pondering since my first Zoom circle last week. What is the pull? What's the pull for this? Because consciously I would say, oh, I don't have time. It's still daylight. I have things to do. But I had to rush to stop to get to the computer on time to do this. So why? And it's a question more than I have any answers. But it's definitely in the realm of slowing down and being with others who are taking this pause and connecting. And I think being a space to hear and to be heard, which is what I loved about the speaking circle experience from the very beginning, was that space to really listen and be free to speak or share or not speak, actually. Free to be. So, exploring those spaces with this Zoom format. Yep. New journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Completing with Lee, starting with a breath, starting now. So I want to do this 1 minute thing with you. I'm going to do something a little different. I want to take my first minute asking you to close your eyes and feel into how long a minute is. I'll tell you when it's over. So if you close your eyes and just breathe and feel into the ease of your breath, starting now. thank you. Come back. I'm always shocked with how long a minute is. I don't know how you guys felt, how you folks felt. But it reminds me that of how we waste time by not using every minute in its fullness, not living our lives every minute. That's what it would mean to live every minute, would be to know how long basic unit of time is. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you, Lee.
Well, thank you for sticking in, and we wound up with a very sweet circle, and I appreciated participating and being in the soft, gentle human energy of this group. So, you know, on my schedule, every other Thursday, the San Rafael Circle meets. And I think, Michelle, I said you had a space next week in that.
Yeah.
But sometimes there might not be any other spaces for others. But this Tuesday, I have spaces. So Tuesday at 7, same time 7. So I'll be emailing you, Tony and Gloria. 7 o'clock next Tuesday is a good opportunity to come to a circle. So we'll be emailing. And I want to end with a group hug, as we know is our convention here. Tony's second group hug of the day.
Oh,
And he knows by now that kisses are optional.
kisses.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Thank
Good
you.
night, all.
Thank you,
Good
Michelle.
night.
Bye, Gloria. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night, doggies.